Good evening, everyone. My name is Don Blaska. I am the Hampstead School Moderator, and I'm calling this meeting to order for the deliberative session and 2026 warrant for the Hampstead School District. Today is February 3rd, 2026. The time is 7:03 p.m. I know some people are still checking in. Please take your time checking in and just grab a seat afterwards. I'd ask the district clerk to take roll call at this time.
Yes, Andy Cabaras, sorry.
It's okay. Here.
Carl Huebner,
Here.
Missy Denton,
Here.
Denise Meyer, here. Richard Ford.
Here.
Thank you. Mr. Boer, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. There's a number of different ways to access our meeting materials online. There's 3 ways to choose. One, you can visit the school district 2026-2027 budget website. You can visit the school district webpage under news, and you can visit the school board website's board documents and open the public hearing, deliberative session, and election results materials 2026 folders. You can also get started by going to www.hampsteadschools.net. Our meeting outline tonight is Part 1, I'll review the moderator's rules. Part 2, the school board/elected officials introduction. Part 3, presentation of the warrant. Moderator's rules, these are published on the school website as well as the town website. 1, moderator will not follow Robert's Rules of Order. The moderator will use the following general rules of procedure, whose main purpose is to keep the meeting moving as outlined by the agenda. These rules of procedure shall apply to the town deliberative session and the school deliberative session. The moderator will take the articles in the order that they appear on the warrant. Moderator will consider each article as follows. A, the moderator will announce the article and the caption of the article. The text of the article will be displayed on the overhead screen or otherwise made available to the voters at the meeting. The moderator is not required to read the full text of the article. The moderator will recognize a member of the school board or the petitioner, if it is a petitioned article, to move the adoption of the article. The moderator will consider each article as follows. If the article is seconded, I will recognize a member of the school board or the petitioner to explain the article. The meeting will then discuss, debate, and potentially amend the article. Everyone who speaks must use the microphone so they can be heard. No one may speak unless he or she has the floor. No one may have the floor unless you're recognized by the moderator. Each speaker must provide his or her name and address here in town. The moderator will only allow one motion on the floor at a time. Amendments. They must be presented to the moderator in writing and signed by the proponent or the author. Amendments will only be accepted if the subject matter of the article is not changed or eradicated. Amendments require a majority vote. Moderator will only allow one amendment at a time. Articles prescribed by statute may not be amended. You also cannot amend contracts and cannot amend subject matter of an article. The moderator will not accept negative motions, which are motions that require a no vote to vote in the affirmative, such as, I move that we not adopt the budget. That's under an Allen Bailey versus Town of Exeter, Rockingham County Superior Court decision by Judge McHugh. Motions to call the question limit debate and require a 2/3 vote. If passed, these motions stop debate on a motion or amendment. Non-voters may not speak at the meeting without the permission of the voters, except the moderator will allow non-resident school officials and consultants or experts who are at the meeting to provide information about the article. All speakers must be courteous and must speak to the issues, not the individual raising the issue. The moderator will not allow personal attacks or inappropriate language. If any person behaves in a disorderly manner or fashion, and after notice from the moderator persists in such behavior, or shall in any way disturb the meeting or willfully violate any rule of the meeting, the moderator may have a police officer remove such a person from the meeting. That's under New Hampshire RSA 40:8. All questions and comments shall be addressed to the moderator. The moderator will choose who responds to the questions. Each speaker may only speak once until everyone has had an opportunity to speak. All speakers in debate or discussion will be limited to 3 minutes and may not make any presentations unless allowed by the moderator, except the initial presentations on articles, which the moderator requests be limited to 10 minutes. The voters may overrule any decision of the moderator by majority vote. The moderator shall determine the method of voting as determined by law. Any voter who doubts the accuracy of any non-counted vote may require the moderator to determine a counted show of hands or counted standing vote. Any 5 voters may require that the vote on an article or amendment be by secret ballot. To do so, all 5 voters must be present and identified, and the request must be presented in writing to the moderator prior to the end of the debate on the article or amendment. Motion to reconsider an article may only be made immediately after the vote on the article or amendment and may only be made by a voter who voted on the prevailing side of the vote to be reconsidered. Moderator requests that all voters be thoughtful and respectful of others. The meeting will recess to the secret ballot upon motion, first and seconded by a voter with a majority vote. School board and elected officials. School board, Andy Cabarrus, Dr. Carl Hubner, Melissa Denton, Dr. Richard Poore, Denise Meyer, I've already introduced myself, and School District Clerk Lisa DeMayo. Superintendent of Schools Bob Thompson, CFO and HR Director Jeff Dowd, School Counsel Attorney Abby Tucker. There is a list of non-voter speakers, people who are not voters here in town. Is there a motion from the board?
I will make a motion to allow these non-voter speakers to speak if called upon.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Motion passes. Those are listed inside the, right above. Thank you. Now we'll go to the presentation of the warrant. To the inhabitants of the school district of the town of Hampstead, New Hampshire, qualified to vote in district affairs. Tonight is the first session of our annual meeting, deliberative session. You are hereby notified to meet at the Hampstead Middle School, 28 School Street, Hampstead, New Hampshire, on Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026 at 7 p.m. This session shall consist of explanation, discussion, and debate of warrant articles number 2 through 7. Warrant articles may be amended subject to the following limitations. Warrant articles whose wording is prescribed by law shall not be amended. Warrant articles that are amended shall be placed on the official ballot for a final vote on the main motion as amended, and no warrant article shall be amended to eliminate the subject matter of the article. An amendment that changes the dollar amount of an appropriation in a warrant article does not violate this provision. The second session of annual meeting, which is our voting day, voting on warrant articles number 1 through 7 will be conducted by official ballot to be held in conjunction with town meeting. Voting to be held on Tuesday, the 10th day of March 2026 at the Hampstead Middle School, 28 School Street, Hampstead, New Hampshire. The polls will be open from 8 a.m. and remain open until 8 p.m. Article 1, election of officers. School board member, a 3-year term. School board member, a 3-year term. School district moderator, 3-year term. School district treasurer, 3-year term. School district clerk, 3-year term. Is there a motion?
I will make a motion to to move this to the ballot.
Second? Is there a second?
Oh,
Second.
All those in favor? Article 1 is now voted to secret ballot at the March 10th, 2026 town meeting. Article 2, the operating budget. The average cost per pupil for the preceding year as calculated in accordance with New Hampshire RSA 189:75, 1A is $29,375. ELA proficiency, 57%. Math proficiency, 51%. Science proficiency, 37%. Shall the voters of the Hampstead School District raise and appropriate as an operating budget, not including appropriations by special warrant articles and other appropriations voted separately, the amount set forth on the budget posted with the warrant or as amended by vote of the first session for the purposes set forth therein, totaling $39,660,525. Should this article be defeated, the default budget shall be $39,551,092, which is the same as last year, with certain adjustments required by previous action of the New Hampshire School District or by law, or the governing body may hold one special meeting in accordance with New Hampshire RSA 40:13, 10, and 16 to take up the issue of a revised operating budget only. Note, warrant Article 2, the operating budget does not include appropriations proposed under any other warrant articles. Majority vote required. This is recommended by the school board, 4-0 to 0.
All right, moving on to the budget presentation overview. We will cover the overall budget proposal, budget drivers, staffing and personnel, highlights of new and deleted items by each department, the revenue budget, budget trends, and the default budget. The projected enrollment used for budgeting at the central school, pre-K through 4, the current is 472 students. Projected is 468 students with a decrease of 4 students. At the middle school, grades 5 through 8, the current is 359. Projected 347 students with a difference of 12, a decrease in 12 students. And at Pinkerton, grades 9 through 12, the current is 341. Projected is 371 students with an increase of 30 students. Total district-wide enrollment for school year 25-26 is 1,172. The overall budget proposal is $39,660,525. The current budget being $38,501,625. Again, the proposed is $39,660,525 with a difference of $1,158,900. And this represents a 3.01 increase year over year. For the budget drivers for 26-27, salaries, there's an increase of $543,592. Group insurance, an increase of $244,703. Social Security, an increase of $44,118. Employee/teacher retirement, $110,543. Professional services, an increase in $71,402. Repair and maintenance, an increase of $145,216. Plumbing, heating, and electrical repair, an increase of $11,658. Rental of facilities, an increase of $17,400. And building improvement, a decrease of $252,009. Budget drivers continued. Student transportation, an increase of $348,146. Tuition, a decrease of $35,263. Curriculum, a decrease of $41,458. General supplies, an increase of $40,173. Books and info resources, an increase of $19,914. Software, an increase of $14,897. And fund transfers, capital reserve, a decrease of $150,000. For personnel, there's an increase of $98,800. It's for an elementary special education coordinator. There's a decrease of $48,427 to reduce 2 unfilled support staff positions with an overall increase of $50,373. For technology, $5,654 for a 1-year license of Hampstead School District wireless infrastructure, $17,950 for a 1-year license for 3 firewall appliances, $1,539 for a 4-year kindergarten cycle replacement, $6,233 for the gumdrop protective CB cases for kindergarten with an overall increase of $31,376. At Hampstead Central School, $13,895 for an investment in decodable readers for multi-tiered systems of support, $9,397 for a dyslexia screener, online administration and training, $15,985 classroom furniture replacement cycle, $9,294 for the summer literacy intervention program, with an overall increase of $48,571. At Hampstead Middle School, $16,276 for musical replacement equipment and to replace the staging, $4,840 for replacement field hockey nets, $4,000 for math reflex, math fact fluency, 5th and 6th graders, $2,738 for STEAM integration and family night consumables, $1,958 for library replacement equipment and replacement furniture purchase in the current year, with an overall of $29,812. In facilities, $134,616 for the Hampstead Central School gym cafe partition wall replacement, $30,062 for the HCS elevator operator upgrade, $33,949 for the Hampstead Middle School fire alarm field parts, $13,184 for the Hampstead Central School 30-plus-year-old roof section, with the overall total $211,811. In student services, $28,477. Other professional services, contracted services, delivery of IEP services in out-of-district and public charter schools, $236,642 for Pinkerton tuition, an increase in student needs requiring services beyond Pinkerton's base tuition, $380,881 specialized transportation, increase in student needs requiring specialized programming and placement, with an overall increase of $646,000. For the revenue budget, budgeted for 25-26 was $7,111,663. For the budget year 26-27, it's $6,082,238. On the percentage budget trends, you have a 10-year look back year over year of the percentage increases, with the 26-27 proposed increase of 3.73% and the average being 4.05%. Funding sources and tax impact. This lists all of the funding sources for revenue, state adequate education aid, surplus, local taxes, and the anticipated revenue is $2,100,355. State adequacy education aid would be $3,381,883. Surplus $600,000, and local taxes $33,578,287, totaling $39,660,525. And it shows the tax impact for a home that costs $200,000. The increase would be $221, all the way up to $1 million home, where it's $1,105. For the budget distribution, showing the breakdown of salaries versus benefits, expenses, tuition. Salaries results in 34.15%. Benefits is 22.41%. I won't go all the way through these, but there's the pie chart breakdown. For the default budget, should the proposed budget be defeated, the default budget would be $39,551,092. The proposed budget, again, is $39,660,525, with the default being $39,551,092, with an overall difference of $109,433.
I'll now open it up to anyone who be willing wants to speak on this article.
Good evening, Bob Weimer, 311 Emerson Avenue. I'm here representing myself, although I spend a good part of my fall working on the Budget Committee. And as a result, we do work with the school district just to see how all of the costs of the town are going to affect the budget. Recognizing that there's been quite a bit of discussion over the last couple of years about the budget, and in fact, a default budget vote last year, I thought it might be a good idea to try to put some of the overall costs in context. First of all, since 2019, the total budget of the school district has gone up $11.7 million. Now that seems like a lot of money, and it is. But when you start to look at the various sources and you look at its impact compared to inflation, you'll find that it's not as onerous as it may seem. The inflation is onerous. The teacher salaries have gone up about $1.3 million. Assistants have gone up about $600,000. Medical benefits, $2.2 million. Administration, about $600,000. Transportation, $1.56 million. Special services, $2.9 million. Pinkerton tuition, $1 million. And the remaining budget items about $2.6 million. Now, if you look at that in aggregate, it says that the highest impacts were medical benefits and special services, and then sort of a catch-all at other items. But I think it's important to put this in context. If you compare the total inflation rate to the inflation or the percentage increase per year, we're talking about an inflation rate that exceeds the rate of the school district's increases. The inflation rate over that 7-year period was around 4.2, I believe, 4.3. Excuse me, the total was 4.5 for the school, and the inflation rate was 4.16. So it is slightly higher, but we have to recognize two major factors the school is trying to contend with. The first is their, if you will, focus is on school performance, and the education performance of Hampstead schools is the best in the area. And while we may have the highest cost in the area, there's no question that people come to Hampstead expecting that their children will get good education. And it appears from the testing results and comparisons that they do. We're in a B plus, A minus category, according to a couple of studies I saw. So despite the specific numbers, in comparison with other schools, the best I saw was an A plus, and there was only 2 schools, I believe, or 3 schools in the state that had that. So in terms of the performance speaks for itself. If you look at the cost of school versus other towns around, as I said, we are the highest by a fair margin, frankly, but we are in league with the schools that we compete with that are producing students with the same ultimate educational performance. Having said that, there are certainly some items in the budget that we might want to take a further look at. And I think that, am I over my time?
Yes, sir.
Do you want me to quit?
Finish up.
All right.
Thoughts?
I just want to point out a couple of things. We've been talking about how to manage the tax rate, not just for the school, but for the town as a whole. And if we look at the ways in which we negotiate contracts, the way we look at various services that are part of the benefits package, we think that there may be some ways to renegotiate those agreements and come up with some better terms based on experience elsewhere in the state. There has been talk about a tax cap. I think a tax cap can be appropriate when used in a limited manner, which is what was done last year. So the concept of having a tax cap can, from my point of view, be used as a default budget, even though it doesn't seem like it's causing that much of a change. We can talk about other costs that can be reduced. We can talk about ultimately the attrition of some of the teachers that are here. We know we've got an older teacher force that, I mean, they may be coming upon retirement. That's going to affect the overall budgets as well. But I think it's important to say that we certainly don't want to reduce school personnel. That's not the intent, because a number of students per class makes a big difference in the quality of the education. And if we want to maintain our B+, A- ratings, then that's not the right thing to do. Bottom line, we think that while the budget is high, it reflects the commitments we've made as a town to educate our students to the highest quality, and we hope that that continues.
Thank you. Are there any other speakers? Seeing no other speakers for discussion or debate, Article 2 is now voted to secret ballot at the March 10th, 2026 town meeting.
Mr. Moderator, I'd like to make a motion to restrict reconsideration for the warrant Article 2.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Motion passes. Article 3, Collective Bargaining Agreement, Hampstead Association of School Staff. Shall the Hampstead School District vote to approve the cost items included in the collective bargaining agreement reached between the Hampstead School Board and the Hampstead Association of School Staff, which calls for the following increases in salaries and benefits at the current staffing levels over the amount paid in the prior fiscal year. 2026 to 2027, $269,498. 2027 to 2028, $228,037. 2028 to 2029, $227,954. And further to raise and appropriate the sum of $269,498 for the 2026-2027 fiscal year, such sum representing the additional costs attributable to the increase in salaries and fringe benefits required by the new agreement over those that would be paid at current staffing levels. Majority vote required, recommended by the school board 4-0. Is there a motion?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Andy.
All right. Article 3, Collective Bargaining Agreement, Hampstead Association of School Staff. The wage information, general on and off step. Year 1, $2.15 an hour. Year 2, $2.15 an hour. Year 3, $2.15 an hour. Other information, there is now a recognition of registered behavior technicians, or RBTs. There's cost sharing of health insurance with an increase of 20% for cost sharing. $15 classroom coverage stipend and a 75% course reimbursement prepayment. It's currently at 50%.
I'll now open this up for discussion or debate. Seeing that no one is coming forward to speak, I'll now forward this matter to Article 3 for secret ballot at the March 10th, 2026 election.
Mr. Moderator, I'd like to make a motion to restrict reconsideration for warrant Article 3.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Motion passes. Article 4, authorization for special meeting on cost items. Shall the Hampstead School District, if Article 3 is defeated, authorize the Hampstead School Board to call a special meeting at its option to address the Article 3 cost item only? Majority vote required. Without this article, the district would have to petition the Superior Court for a special school district meeting. This saves the district the expense of attorney fees and court costs. This is recommended by the school board 4-0. I'll open it up for anyone to speak with regard to discussion or debate on Article 4. Seeing nobody coming up to speak, Article 4 is now forwarded to secret ballot at the March 10th, 2026 town meeting election.
Mr. Moderator, I'd like to make a motion to restrict reconsideration of Article 4.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Motion passes. Article 5, shall the voters of the Hampstead School District raise and appropriate up to $250,000 to be placed in the school renovation, reconstruction, and capital improvement capital reserve fund established in 2006, with such amount to be transferred from the June 30th, 2026 unassigned fund balance surplus in excess of $150,000 available for transfer on July 1, 2026. Majority vote required. The first $150,000 of surplus will be returned to the taxpayers. The next $250,000 of the surplus will be placed in the capital reserve fund. Any additional surplus will be returned to the taxpayers. The funds from this article came from the 2025-2026 school budget surplus, not from additional taxes. This is recommended by the school board. I'll now open it up to anyone who would like to speak on Article 5. Seeing no further volunteers to speak, Article 5 is now voted to the secret ballot at the March 10th, 2026 town meeting.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Mr. Moderator, I'd like to make a motion to restrict reconsideration for Article 5.
Is there a second? All those in favor? Motion passes. Article 6, leach field replacement. Shall the voters of the Hampstead School District raise and appropriate the sum of up to $250,000 for the purpose of the Hampstead Middle School leach field replacement and associated construction of new access road necessary for the completion of the project, and to authorize the withdrawal of up to $250,000 from the school renovation, reconstruction, and capital improvement capital reserve fund established in 2006, which is a special revenue fund created for this purpose as amended. Majority vote required. This project will be fully funded from the existing capital reserve balance with no additional tax impact. This is recommended by the school board 4-0. Now open up to see if anybody would like to speak about Article 6. Seeing nobody volunteering to speak, Article 6 is now forwarded to secret ballot at the March 10th, 2026 town meeting election.
Mr. Moderator, I'd like to make a motion to restrict reconsideration for warrant Article 6.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Motion passes. Article 7, accept reports. Shall the Hampstead School District accept reports of agents, auditors, and committees as written in the 2025 annual report? Majority vote required, recommended by the school board 4-0. I'll now open it up, well, actually can't be opened up to discussion. Article 7 is now forwarded to secret ballot at the March 10th, 2026 town meeting election. Second part of deliberative session or town meeting voting day is Tuesday, March 10th, 2026, Hampstead Middle School, 28 School Street, Hampstead, New Hampshire. Polls will be open from 8 a.m. and remain open until 8 p.m. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to recess until March 10th, 2026.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor? The time is 7:36 p.m. The deliberative session today is now closed. Thank you very much.